welcome to Helios and Smores' first trail ride. It is a beautiful day on this May long weekend, so come join us on their first trail.
Alright, so join us outside. This is a first trail for these guys. We ended up going to our neighbor's field and riding around there. So this is actually a field where we turn horses out in the summertime, and the grass isn't quite long enough yet for us to turn horses out here. So we're using it as a little trail opportunity, which is a great first place for them to go because otherwise we have to kind of go down the side of the highway. And so this gives us a little bit more of a private area to take them out back. So we've got little S'mores with Allie, me with Helios, and then Natalie was taking Neymar for a little ground walk, a little hangout. So we're all kind of going together, and our plan was to just kind of take turns leading and moving around. And really this is kind of an opportunity for the horses, for Helios and S'mores, to learn to walk, kind of go around as a group and to follow each other and not follow each other and be in a big open space and not getting upset and being able to just stay listening to us. So at this point, for me, for Helios, I think this was actually I want to say my fourth ride on him at this point when we decided to go for a trail, because he's just that quiet and that chill, and I felt like we could go outside to do our stuff. He had done some trotting in the indoor arena on whatever ride it was before we came out here, and then I thought, he's so quiet, he listens so well, let's go for a little trail. And for S'mores, Allie I think had one extra ride, maybe two extra rides on S'mores than me and Helios. Helios and I got delayed, not super delayed, but we had two fewer rides than Allie, simply because he had so many bad mud clump things on his belly that it just wasn't fair to put a saddle on him. And it just took quite a while to get that groomed off just because of how cold it was and stuff like that. So we've got the footage kind of zoomed out here just so that way you can see the space that they're riding in, just how big and open it is. Definitely lots of opportunity for them to feel free, and if they were going to be upset or anything like that, definitely the space for them to act up if they were going to. But they were really, really awesome. I mean, these horses have been really chill right from the get-go, and it's been nice because I work with a lot of horses that have issues and have trauma and stress, and these horses just had learned that people are friendly and they'd never really done anything. So I got the best kind of scenario that you can when it comes to training horses, where they were friendly horses and tame and gentle horses, but not traumatized or scared or stressed or injured or anything like that. So here's a little closer up footage. That's my indoor arena in the background there that you can see. And we're going to ride them up a hill. We didn't actually have footage of them going down the hill. I apologize about that. But here's footage of them going up the hill. And Helios does a couple little steps of trot, but for the most part just walks up the hill. I don't think the video camera does this hill justice. It's actually a pretty steep hill. S'mores stops to catch his breath partway up, which is kind of funny. But it's actually a slope all the way up, and then of course it's a little bit steeper where the dirt area is there. So here's a little look up at the top of the hill, and we're going to bring them up into a little area around some trees and do a little bit more kind of riding through the treed area. And that's my arena on the right side there that you guys can see. And this area where we are in, again, is usually a horse field. So we're just, taking advantage of using this space while we can. And we're riding through some trees. Of course, it's very early spring, and so the trees do not have any leaves on them yet. But we're riding through a whole bunch of, trees and branches and stuff like that. And they're going through the narrow space and super calm. And you can see that they don't get upset when they get far away from each other or get close to each other, or they're riding away from the other horse. And they really, don't care about that kind of stuff. They've been really easygoing about it all. S'mores is going to stop for a little bathroom break there. Can't blame him, little bud. So that's all right. And really, they're very, very sensible. I've been very impressed with how sensible they are. So I've posted a video of Nash in contrast, who was a little horse that was taken in by he was a rescue foal, and he was taken in, and they did some groundwork with him and stuff like that. But I've started him under saddle, and they're getting trained in the same month, and Nash is a lot more insecure naturally. So he does a lot of things. I ride him under saddle, and we've been trotting under saddle and stuff like that, but he hasn't progressed. Like, I wouldn't take him out on a trail and do this type of activity with Nash because I feel like his confidence level isn't there. So even though they're being trained by me, the same person, and I actually probably put more time into Nash than I do these guys, because they're paying me to train them, where these guys are owned both by me. So whether I train them or not doesn't necessarily matter. And their confidence levels are not the same. So some horses, just naturally have more confidence than others, and we always need to take that into account with the horses. I think it's important to note too that we can always adjust a situation to help set a horse up for success. So when I did eventually take Nash out for his first little trail, I had somebody leading me the entire time on the ground, just in case he got overwhelmed. I wanted to make sure it was set up for success for both of us, just to make sure that we both had a really good experience. So here's a little more footage back out in the field down towards the bottom of the area where we were in, and we practiced taking turns going in different directions. We practiced transitions. So it's always one thing to just, walk on a trail or kind of stay in a line, and then it's totally different experience to practice transitions, practice halting, practice going side up by side in front. Often people sometimes get worried about a horse. Can they lead, or do they have to follow, or can they be in the back? And so it's good to just practice a variety of different positions and ways of riding with horses, so that way they're not stuck in always having to be in a certain order or anything like that. So here, when we're going to practice some trotting transitions, we're practicing going together, and I'm leading usually just because I'm more confident and I'm kind of leading the pack with Allie for what we're doing. We also rode away from the other horse. Natalie was hand walking Neymar, so she did not feel like running around the field with us, which is totally fine. So we got to practice riding away from another horse and coming back to another horse without getting excited, which is a whole training challenge all in itself. And so that's our little boys going out for a little trot, going around the field and doing some transitions. So we did a little trot, and then now bringing them down to a halt transition, and we're quite a ways away now from where the other horse is standing and where we were. And we want to make sure that we're always focusing on keeping them listening to us and not being worried or upset about different things, and not simply following each other, but listening to us as well. So we're kind of cueing things at the same time. And they've got these cute, adorable little jogs, and you can just tell their personalities. They tend to want to slow down if they're wanting to look at something or kind of unsure. They don't just run off and speed up. So this is fantastic, because all of the training that we've been doing is about promoting the horses becoming better at learning to slow down and think and not being so reactive. So look how far Helios got ahead of S'mores there, and he's not rushing to catch up or anything like that, just a slow little jog all the way there. So these are really good things to practice with horses, just so they don't end up getting upset about being left behind. We also took the horses out the front area of the barn, which Helios was a little bit like, I don't know that I want to walk past all the corgis. So I probably should have asked Allie not to pass me there and let Helios lead, but that's okay. We're coming back up a narrow kind of area here, and the corgis are bouncing around on the fence in the backyard there. So this was the first time that they had ever seen the dogs, because we hadn't brought them out here before. And you can see my dogs are running around, and I don't have the sound on the video, but my dogs are barking as well, although you can see their little woofers going away there. And so Helios is just checking them out, and then he's like, hey, look, there's grass here. Can I eat the grass? and he cares more about that. And little S'mores is over there, and he doesn't care. They're pretty chill with all the noise going on. It's really good to get them to be exposed to the different sounds and things like that, and do it in a safe way that the dogs can't actually come up and bite their legs or things like that. So I'm super impressed with their first trail. They're going to be trail superstars, I think. They were awesome. Thanks for watching, guys, and let us know what you think.